The beauty of our harbour needs help to ensure a healthy habitat for our ocean life and our future. This week on DV, we're going from shoreline to shoreline to explore the efforts from different people, organisations and companies who have prioritised cleaning up our oceans. Sharing in the cause is just the first step, but a very important one in our fight against climate change. Control what we can control, contribute where we can. How? Let's dive in. Our oceans need our attention, but where do we begin, Ivy?
Swimming out in the open water sounds like such a great idea. In theory, it'd be such a refreshing outdoor treat. And I'd dive in there myself if only the water didn't stink. With pollution affecting us so dearly, can you imagine what it's doing to the sea creatures that have to live in it? Pollution affects marine life, which then affects our food chain and then our economy. Imagine a world with no swimming, no seafood, no seaweed, simply because the water is too toxic. That would be absolutely awful, wouldn't it? Well, it looks like we're headed that way anyway, unless we do something about it. And the question is, how can we stop this vicious cycle? Let's see if we can get some answers from our collection of guests today.
This topic certainly deserves exploring, and I can't wait to learn more.
Hi, Kola. Can you tell me a little bit about what you do?
I'm a husbandry team member in the park, taking care of the different marine lives, including fish, corals, and also sea turtles.
I see. So you must know about our marine life very well.
Yeah.
What is happening today in Hong Kong?
Actually, in Hong Kong, marine lives are facing a lot of problems, including marine debris. A lot of plastic waste, including bottles, gloves, and also bags, are in the water. Marine lives may be taken in the wakes. Also, there are some fishing gears left inside the water.
Do you think they eat it or something?
They may eat it, yeah, because there are some fish entangled in the nets, and they may mistaken it also. Yeah. And like fishing hooks also.
Do you get a lot of calls, you know, for rehab or for urgency, that kind of thing?
Yeah, actually, we have rescued over 100 sea turtles over the decades.
Wow, that's so a lot.
Yeah.
What do you do for them here?
They come in the park. We will first examine if they have any external injuries, and our vet team will also do together to have thorough check to see if there are anything inside the body, to see if they need to have surgical operations to take out like hooks or also nets.
Man, that sounds so complicated. Yeah. Do you see that the situation is worsening, or do you see it improving? I mean, in terms of the ocean pollution.
I think the situation is worsening.
Worsening?
We do not see sea turtles nesting in Shanwan or Lemma Island since 2012. And because of human activities and boat activities, the sea turtles are afraid, and they do not want to go on shore to lay eggs. Their breeding behaviors is affected, and they may abandon the nesting site. I also do surveys on fish populations, and we can see that there is a drop in the population of different kinds of fish.
What's wrong with him? He can't seem to float downwards.
Yes, actually, it was hurt by a propeller of the speedboat. You see here, the shell is not regular in shape. You can see here, there's a angle here.
Yeah, it looks like it's got bashed in.
Yeah, and it is quite severe. But luckily, she healed. But after that, there is some problem about the movement of the limbs. So you can see that the back limbs cannot be moved very smoothly, and it hinders the swimming ability.
Yeah, so you mentioned that they eat a lot of like plastic waste and so on, right? Do you get a lot of these cases?
Yeah, actually, every time we receive some rescue sea turtles, there are some plastic waste inside, but
always?
Always, yes, because in our environment there are not much food, but there are a lot of marine debris inside, like bags, gloves, and also plastic bottles.
Wow.
Also, there are lots of ghost nets under the water, which is a abundant, massive fishing nets.
Okay.
If they are going to find some food they cannot find, they will try to eat something like that.
Right.
Actually, they cannot digest the plastics. They just caught in their stomach or in the intestine. If they have nets and also some fishing hooks, they may penetrate into the intestine wall. So this causes a lot of problems like infections and also internal bleedings.
Understanding the perspective of ocean life and how much we have affected their habitats, their future, it's quite eye-opening. Let's not stop there. What's next, Ivy?
Sid, thank you so much for being with me today. Yeah, so I would really like to know what inspired you to create this boat?
Actually, we were on a beach in Bali about 3 years ago. We were students at Hong Kong U at the time. And we saw the amount of trash in the water, and we saw people taking it out by hand. And when we came back to Hong Kong, we saw that, well, in here, the government's trying to use these kind of diesel and petrol-powered boats to clean the trash. So we're actually creating pollution while trying to clean pollution.
Yeah, surely that's not carbon efficient.
100%. And, you know, we realized that a lot of these machines are creating more pollution than they're cleaning up. And so we kind of looked at it and said, you know, we're engineers. We can definitely come up with a better solution.
How was the response from anyone who's seen your boat?
Actually, we've been very lucky. We've got a very good response from the Hong Kong government. Many government departments have been quite open to adopting or trying our product. Just in the last year, we've gone from having just one boat to now having 10 boats.
Wow!
Most of which are here in Hong Kong.
What is motivating you?
I mean, to be honest, for us, it's like the problem is so big, right? And everywhere we go, people are like, hey, this is amazing because my water is dirty.
Yes.
And, you know, we've just started to expand to, for example, in India. And it's the same problem there. And, you know, we get inquiries from the US, from Indonesia, from all over the world. And it's such a huge problem. And I think that's what motivates us and drives us, because we might have at least some kind of solution that makes sense.
Where do you see this going in the next 10 to 20 years? I can imagine this being, you know, a huge project potentially, you know, if you manage to go across the different countries.
Yeah, absolutely. So our goal is to do two things. The first is to make this super easy and simple to use. So the idea is you can sit in your office and have a swarm of these boats go out and clean the water automatically. And the second is to expand region-wise. So for the first time, we started expanding outside Hong Kong. We're starting with India, but the idea is to do actually like Southeast Asia, and then eventually like other parts of the world.
Yuji, can you tell me what is so sustainable about your boat?
So our boat runs on electricity. It's fully electric. It has 4 batteries on it, and it's charged from your regular wall socket, or it's charged using solar panel.
I see. Wait, so just for the benefit of the doubt, because most people don't know this, but how is battery-powered more sustainable than, say, diesel?
So diesel boats actually burn fuel, which means they produce carbon dioxide. And in comparison to that, we are completely zero emissions, because running it on electricity means the motors are just running off the battery. And we have a charger, which we keep here on the side. Right? And you can plug it into the robot in one of the sockets right in the middle there. There's a lot of technology that's packed into the front of the robot, covered with a black hood on top of it.
Yes.
Right? That's where all of our control electronics are. So we have a remote control for this robot, and the receiver for that is placed inside that box.
Okay, I see.
You see the black thing in the middle there? That's the LiDAR, which is a laser scanner. So this laser scanner can see the robot's environment in sort of point cloud format, as we call it, which is you and I appear as a dot on the map for this robot. So it knows that there's something here that it cannot collide into.
Okay.
Right. So that's how this robot knows whether there's a boat in the water and it needs to stop. And let the boat pass.
I see.
Then we have a camera in the front looking towards the water. And that camera is the camera that sees the trash that's floating on the surface of the water. In real time, we're actually performing object detection on that trash. So as the robot is collecting this garbage from the water, it's counting it. It's checking whether it's a plastic bottle, whether it's straws or food containers. Once we do collect this data, we report it back to our clients that we're working for here, and then they evaluate what's the impact that this robot made here. How much plastic did we pull out? How much cleaning we did? For how many hours the robot ran? Things like that.
Over the last, say, few months, and when you're collecting data, have you ever seen a particular kind of a trend?
Been pretty consistent, I think. It's more during the typhoon season, though. So during typhoon season, the winds are higher, and not only does the trash from the ocean come in, but there's a lot of trash that falls in.
Oh yes, from land.
So there's quite a bit of trash during the months August, September, October.
Oh, I see.
So we were running a robot here, and we were pulling out a full basket of trash every day. When we started out as a trash cleaning boat, and that's a very needed solution today, right? We need to pull plastic out of the ocean. So that was already a great sort of motivator.
Yeah.
But as we worked on the company, we realized there's a huge sort of future in this, and
I see.
there's so much more value in bringing boats that are completely electric, completely autonomous.